Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're looking at some Jalen Milroe highlights from earlier this year, facing off against Georgia. Usually I do fringe players, kind of under the radar prospects, hidden gems on this channel, but today we're looking at a prime time player. This is Jalen Milroe. He's playing at Alabama. Last quarterback they had here went first overall in the NFL draft. This is a national championship or bust type of program. But I had to do this video because he's still living on the fringes, it seems like. At least in the draft community. You know, some people will say, hey, yeah, he's probably a top 50 pick. But that's not how it works in the NFL. We all know it. You get graded as a top 50 pick, you got a great chance of going back into round one if you're a quarterback, maybe higher. You know, your team doesn't need to have an immediate need to take Jalen Milroe at the back end of round one, right? Look at Jordan Love. Look at Lamar Jackson. Look at Jalen Hurts. Sometimes going first overall in the draft is not always what it's cracked up to be. Ask Baker Mayfield. Now, I personally don't think he's going to last past the middle of round one. You know, you consider the type of draft it is. There's really not a lot of high-end, locked and loaded type of playmakers available in round one. You got Ashton Genty, who's extraordinary. You got Travis Hunter. You've got the quarterbacks, Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders. Now some people like Tet McMillan, Luther Burden. It's a pretty similar tier to where Jalen Milroe is as a prospect. I mean, he's 6'1.5", 225. He's running in the 4.3s. So he's a better athlete than those guys. He's not as refined a passer as Sanders, as Cam Ward, but you got to remember, Shedeur Sanders has played four years as a starter. Cam Ward, this is his 5th full year as a starter. Okay, this is only Jalen Milroe's 2nd year as a starter, so it makes sense that he's not going to be as polished. And don't forget, why did Cam Ward not come out last year? Because scouts said he wasn't polished enough. He's playing too much hero ball. He was making bad decisions. He was turning the ball over too much. Scouts will say a similar thing about Milroe. He's not a hero ball guy, but he will turn the ball over a little too much. But you know what? An NFL franchise isn't going to look at him and say, hey, we can clean that up. He can work in our system. Yeah, we can work this guy. No problem. It's going to happen. So he's going to get draft capital. He's going to get an opportunity for a few years. He's kind of like a Lamar Jackson meets Jameis Winston, which is fantasy gold, right? I'd say his floor is Will Levis, maybe, but that's probably doing him a disservice. He's better than Will Levis. I think he's better than Anthony Richardson. He's a better football player than those guys. He's got more pocket awareness, plays with better timing, inspires more confidence. You know, he's still a work in progress, but this is the guy who's going to get draft capital. He's going to be a fantasy asset. You're going to be able to flip him if you want to, like you're able to do with Anthony Richardson to begin the season, because he's going to have huge games. It's a no-brainer, guys. He's got upside the other players simply do not have. He's a better athlete than Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, and they're not going to be rushing for multiple 100-yard, 2-touchdown games like he has the potential to do. Another thing to consider is he's had the spotlight on him since day one. He hasn't had the luxury to get to go to an obscure program and refine his craft at his own pace. He's had championship expectations put on him since day one. So he's got grit. He's faced adversity. He's come up big in big games. Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, they didn't have to deal with the spotlight that Milroe has to deal with. Not initially, not at first. That builds character. He's fought through some adversity. He came back. He came back okay, you know. He didn't get the yips. He didn't turn into a shell of himself when the pressure was on. In fact, that's when he's at his best. That's what you need, man. That's how you need your guy wired, because in the NFL, every week is an SEC championship game. Every week, you got to come back from some adversity, usually. And most importantly, you got to lead men in the NFL. You got to feed their families. You got to earn their trust. You have to exude a presence that, hey, yeah, we're down, chips are down, but hop on, guys, jump on my back. I'll lead you to the promised land. That's the kind of player he is. He's cool as a cucumber, and if he has a bad game, he throws it out. Move forward, move on to the next game. Stay focused, stay on task. This is a highly motivated, highly confident player. He has a lot of talent. He should be confident. He's got a bazooka on his arm. He's one of the most gifted quarterbacks to ever play the sport. He's got a work ethic to match. He's the first to show up, last to leave kind of guy. Now, does he turn the ball over too much? Yeah, he does. That's his issue right now. But you know who else was doing that? Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. It's not the end of the world in college. NFL franchise is going to see this guy and be like, yeah, we'll clean that up. Don't you worry about that. We'll put you in better position there. He's occasionally inaccurate, but he's still a 66% completion guy. It's really not that bad. He's a gunslinger. What I think is there's a lot of NFL franchises. Back end of the first are probably trying to keep this kid a secret. But the secret's going to be out. He's going to declare for the draft. People aren't going to be sure what to think. Maybe he should have gone back. Why isn't he going back? Well, he's going to blow up the combine. He's got a huge arm. He's carved out of granite. He's going to get all those kinds of headlines at the combine. Media darling. I'm telling you, interviews really well. High character. Classic riser in the process. And I'm a believer. If you get the call from the NFL, it's time to come out. It's time to come out. Anthony Richardson came out too soon. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he doesn't play that well and he doesn't get drafted that high the next year. You never know how it's going to go. When you get offered to be the face of an NFL franchise, you take it. You take that. For what it's worth, now, if you remember, Cam Ward wasn't getting asked to come out last year. They're telling him to stay in school. NFL told him, yeah, we saw you play for 4 years. We think you're a day 3 pick. We think you need to go back and work on your ball security. Yeah, clean up some of that hero ball stuff. And he's done a great job. He's done an awesome job. But, it just goes to show you the fickle nature of the QB market. So you never know. You never know how it turns out. Top of the second is just as good as the top of the first. Opportunity is opportunity. If you're a good player, you're gonna be just fine in the NFL. Hopefully he lands in a good situation. The team can support him, build it the right way. He's got as much upside as anyone. Natural born leader. And don't forget, he's putting up historic numbers. 20 rushing TDs on the year and counting. He's playing great football for a new coach and a new system. You could argue, the great Nick Saban kind of quit on him. Kind of left him high and dry at the altar there. They had plans, they had dreams, but that had to be all put aside. Isaiah Bond skipped town too, and a bunch of other guys. So he's got a new coach. He's got new receivers. Ryan Williams is a work in progress. He's dynamic. He's a future top 15 NFL draft pick, but he dropped some balls. It's a learning curve still. But Milroe's not complaining, not one bit. Just the opposite. He's grateful for every moment. And you don't hear him throwing his offensive line under the bus either. You didn't hear it from me, but that's a red flag. You don't want someone's reaction to adversity, especially in the spotlight, to just blame people around them. Accountability is one thing, but you got to keep things in perspective. You got to get rid of the ball. You can't expect to hold on to the ball forever in the NFL. It's not going to fly. And then start to think that, it's everyone else's fault and not your fault. Your coach's son. You're not supposed to be that delusional. You're supposed to be level-headed. All right, but you're Deion Sanders' coach's son, right? Okay, but that's a whole nother can of worms. We'll talk about that maybe in another video. Should Sanders, can he be coached by anyone else? What's that going to look like? We don't even know. We don't know what he's going to look like when he leaves the nest. Can he take hard coaching? Is someone going to tell him, no, you can't just hang out back there like a movie star and just wait for one of these hand-picked wide receivers that I brought in for you to pop open. That's not going to fly in the NFL. Now, I'm on my little Shador tangent, but the point is, Jalen Milroe's been through adversity. That's really important. Jalen Milroe's got a very professional attitude. It's very important. Milroe is a freak. That's going to help him. Jalen Milroe could literally just play Wildcat all day, and he's going to put your defense on its heels. The fact that he can throw 80 yards down the field is just bonus. The fact that he's got a winning attitude, infectious work habits. I'm not saying he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm saying keep it simple. This guy's checking a ton of boxes. Great kid. He's going to have an opportunity. Sometimes it's that simple. You like Jalen Hurts, you're going to like him. You like guys with the big rushing upside, Kyler Murray, Lamar, you're going to like Milroe. You're going to love him. He's going to be a QB1. This guy's going to be a QB1 as a rookie. He's going to set the league on fire. 6'2", 225. He runs in the 4.3s. You need a data model to tell you that he's going to be productive in the NFL? I don't need that. I'll tell you this. We're not a smoke and mirrors channel here. I'm giving you honest opinions. I'm never going to lie to you with some statistics to build my argument. I'm never going to blame my data model when I'm wrong. I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get better. You know why? Because I'm a human being. Man over machine. Every time. All right, stick with me. We got lots more videos to come. Please like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm seeing a guy that's going to get opportunity. Hopefully he lands with a team that does it the right way. He can learn behind a vet and take it from there. All right, guys.